Lesson number 2, Linda Atkinson. Lesson from Dad. Lesson from Dad, Linda Atkinson.
I was 15 years old when my dad said those words no teen wants to hear. He said, "If you want to be treated like an adult, you better start acting like one." I was a good kid and all, don't get me wrong, but sometimes Dad and I didn't always see eye to eye. This particular issue was about an inappropriate relationship I had with my alarm clock. Yeah, so I'd push snooze 10 to 12 times every morning, and my dad would run to the stairs and say, "Melinda, get up! It's time for school!" This particular day, he decided that would have to stop. "I'm not going to be there when you're in college or have to get to work on time." Whatever, Dad. So, for sure, the very next morning after pushing snooze 10 to 12 times, I heard nothing. Absolutely nothing. And by the time I came to, it was 9:30 a.m., Dad had left for work, I'd missed my ride, and I was supposed to be in an algebra test. Oh, someone was in big trouble. "Dad, how could you?" Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, never since that day have I slept through my alarm clock again. And some of you might be thinking, wow, that was a tough way to teach a 15-year-old a lesson. I agree. But I also realized that that day, I learned to take responsibility for my life. That one missed algebra test, it saved me from a lifetime of late appointments, bad excuses as to how much traffic there was, and many missed opportunities. Now, my old man had one main passion in life, other than bossing me around, of course, and that was archery. So on Sunday mornings, we'd head out to the archery range where Dad would teach me to shoot a bow and arrow. "Stand up tall and straight," he'd tell me. "Arms stretched out, pull the string back, and most importantly, keep your eye on the target. Keep your eye on the target. But never aim the arrow at your friends." Sorry, Madam. Keep your eye on the target. A simple piece of advice that many people never got. In fact, many people I know don't even know what their target is. And those who do often spend 95% of their time focusing on everything but that. They think and talk about what isn't going well for them instead of focusing on what they want. I believe that in order to be successful, we must find clarity on exactly what we want in our lives and focus on it. Leave the rest aside. Now, one of my targets as a teenager was to be a competitive figure skater. I watched Kristi Yamaguchi win Olympic gold in 1992, and by the spring of '93, I was on the ice tripping over my toe pick. I just wanted to feel what it felt like to skate in front of a crowd and maybe win a medal once. I knew the Olympics was a little far off. I was too old. So I practiced for a year, morning, night, weekends, before school, after school, until one day, my coach said, "You're ready." Driving to the first competition, my dad could see the anxiety rising in my face. He said, "Melinda, visualize. Picture yourself skating it perfectly. Imagine how amazing it'll be." Seriously, Dad? But I had nothing better to do, so I decided to close my eyes and picture myself landing every jump and spinning every spin just right. And at the end of that day, when I stood up on that plywood box and the top judge put the gold around my neck, I was a champion. Visualization, the practice of visualization, is so very important in reaching success. Our minds are powerful things. Our subconscious, even more so. The great thing about our subconscious mind is that it doesn't know the difference between what is real and what we've only imagined. So imagine yourself driving that dream car or sitting across from that dream date. Imagine yourself landing that dream job and keep picturing yourself succeeding until your confidence rises so that you can become the person you're meant to be. Back out on that archery range on a balmy Sunday morning, my dad said this. He said, now that you've got your target aligned and you've pictured that arrow going straight through the center, when you're ready, just let go. Just let go. Let go of all those voices in your head that tell you you can't. Let go of that worry that it's not going to work. Let go of that fear that you're going to fail. Let go of that person that you were and come in to the person you want to be. Sometimes we're forced to let go, aren't we? And on May 23rd, 2009, I was. And that's the day that I learned from my dad the biggest lesson of all. I got that phone call. No daughter ever wants to get. She said, I'm sorry, but your dad had a heart attack today. He's gone. In an instant, my world felt like it crushed. And what I realized that day, and in the weeks following, was that, yep, sometimes bad stuff happens. In the beauty that life is and means and creates, bad stuff happens. And we have two choices when it does. One, we can turn that tragedy of our life into pain and pity for ourselves. Or two, we can pick up that sadness and sorrow and heartache, and we can turn it into power. Power to keep on giving when you feel like you've got nothing left to give. Power to keep on loving when you are dying inside. And power to keep on living into the sons and daughters our dads wanted us to be. It's a power of resilience that it takes to succeed. Wasn't able to say goodbye to my dad that day, so I'll tell you what I said to him, what I would have said to him. I would have said, Dad, keep your eye on the target. Imagine how amazing it'll be when you're ready, Dad. Just